Payson is kicking things off here. I want to make sure that we're getting her in a position to harvest a buck like she has requested. And all that takes a little bit of work. And again, like I said, we haven't had a whole lot of time this summer to prepare and to do a lot of this work. So we're taking what we have, but it's never too late, really. So if you guys can get into the woods, do some little reconnaissance work, do some scouting from afar, get out those binoculars. If you know your areas that you're hunting, just take some time to scout it out, see what's there, and it will help you be more successful with your hunt, I guarantee it. So we'll get this copied and get out of here, let the woods rest, and get ourselves prepared this week for the opening day of Iowa youth season this weekend.
Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by CuddeLink, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, RK Tractors, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, Wasp Archery, and Realtree.
This is the hayfield that we've been watching the last week or two. And down at the end of this, we've had some consistent does and fawns popping out, but about every other night a decent buck comes out. So tonight, just out here glassing, seeing if I can get some film. Payton and I have actually been out here just about every night for the last 2 weeks, and we're going to be hunting this field behind us. So tonight, just thought I'd get out here and do a little more glassing. About every other night we're seeing some nice deer come out that she might have a chance at. So see what happens this weekend. Good shot. Oh, I saw the grass go up in the back. So one of the best things about shooting, you take our earmuffs off. You know, I tell folks, I always wanted a son to do this stuff with. And I thought, me being like a third generation hunter in my family, it was always dads and sons hunting. And God has a sense of humor, I think, because I remember just praying for a son that would be outdoorsy. And he gave me a daughter, and 2 years later gave me another daughter, 2 years later gave me another daughter, and 3 years after that gave me another daughter. And so as a daddy of 4 daughters, man, I didn't think I had a chance until my oldest daughter started showing the interest in the outdoors. And then when the big sister was doing that, everybody else followed. But I mean, it's a special time. You look, Payson and I are the only ones out here, and it's daddy-daughter time. It's kind of like a little date, but we're shooting guns. And she likes shooting guns, and she likes hunting. And when we hunt together, man, we have some good conversations, don't we? Mm-hmm. We also have some fun in the blind. We like to watch movies. We bring some snacks, you know, and so it keeps it fun and interesting. But my prayer with these girls is, you know, I realize hunting may not always be their number one interest as they grow up. You know, someday they're going to be off to college. Our older 2 are in high school, and they're so busy that, geez, as a dad, I'm wondering, do they even have time to go out with me? But they make time. They love that time, and they want to spend that time with me. And I'm so blessed to have a wife that sees the value in that. And she wants us to go out and do that. Frankly, I think mom likes a little quiet time at home, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. So when we're out hunting, we make memories. And I tell you what, memories last a lot longer than trophies on the wall and antlers and all that stuff. But yeah, tonight it's practice time, but it's also fun time. Mm-hmm. We're hanging out. Her 3 big sisters are at youth group. And so Payson and I are having a daddy-daughter date night, and we're shooting guns doing it. So let's go see how your last shot went. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've got all my gear here. What we're going to do is load the muzzleloader. And I'm just using some loose grain, so I measure. I'm using a 300 grain Hornady Sabot, and I guess, you know, some guys might say that's overkill, but I'll tell you what, I had an old timer one time tell me each muzzleloader has its perfect equation, and I shot some lesser grain bullets out of this for years, and I just couldn't get accurate. When I stuck that 300 grain bullet in there, it changed it. All of a sudden I started shooting accurate. So I'm loading about 100 grains of powder in this 300 grain bullet into this muzzleloader. When Payson shoots this muzzleloader, we only put 50 grains of powder in. And that's the great thing about muzzleloaders, is it allows younger children and smaller children with smaller frames to shoot a big gun that's capable of killing a deer, but it doesn't knock them over. And again, that same old timer, one of my good friends, told me it doesn't take a whole lot of powder to kill a deer. And so with the girls, I've always started them out at 50. Now her older sisters are shooting 100 grains. I shoot 150 grains. But at the same time, very accurate gun. Well, folks, it's been a fun night with my daughter, Shug. And we are going to pack things up because it's actually getting dark and the mosquitoes are kind of getting bad, aren't they? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, Payson's doing pretty good. We'd love to be right on the dot at 50 yards, but as you all know, there's a vitals area, and she's been right in that vitals area for a couple shots now, and she's pulling the trigger nice and calm, which is what you want a young hunter to do. So really our setup, all the deer that come out should be within 30 yards, maybe 40 at the max. So shooting 50 here, just as kind of preparing her for a long shot, but within the 50 yards, she's a dead eye. So we'll pack it up tonight. We'll be dreaming about this weekend, and Saturday we'll meet you in the blind. Hopefully, video Payson taking her first buck. Sound good, Chuck?
Yep.
I'm out here on a property that I haven't spent much time on yet this year. We got one week before youth season, so getting excited for that. But I got a couple cameras out, and nothing big has shown up yet this year. I got one I'd like to get a couple more pictures of. But this is a property that's been really good the past 3 years that I've been hunting it. Shot some good deer on it. I had a couple really good encounters last year. And there's a couple deer that I'm hoping show back up. One we call Curly, who was a pretty good deer last year. There's a good 10-pointer, and then there's one that we call TMS. There's a drop tine buck. So there's a lot of different bucks out here. And then this property sits right in the middle of a river bottom, and it's a pretty big size, or pretty big property. So a lot of the bucks show up during the rut, just cruising through the river bottom and coming through. And I like to sit on the there's an alfalfa field and then a cornfield here, and so I like to sit kind of in between the two and try to hit them going between food sources. So I'm going to go over here and move a camera down in the timber. I got that sitting on oaks, going to check that, see if anything shows up. And then I got one sitting on a scrape here that I'm going to check, and just hopefully something shows up. And then I'm going to put the cameras back out and come check them in a few days and see if there's anything here for youth season. So like I said, just getting excited for this weekend. Try to get the boys a deer. October 1st is right around the corner. So yeah, I guess we're going to go from there and see what happens. See, there's all kinds of acorns down here. I don't know if they're hitting them yet or not, but all kinds of trails here, so I would think they would be. Yeah, so I grabbed both cameras, or I checked both cameras. I got my card. I'm gonna run home, see if anything shows up on this camera. If I don't get anything good, I guess next time we'll probably be in a deer stand. Well, it is officially the start of deer hunting here this year. It is September 21st, and I got Tucker out here with me. And we're going to try to repeat from last year on opening day, where he shot his first doe. So I'm super excited for today. We actually got to be quiet because we just got set up already, and there's a doe out in the field. But it's been really rainy the last couple days, and the rain let up just for about 3 hours here. It's supposed to, so we're gonna see if we can make it happen. But we had a lot of plans for today. We were going to go check cameras and everything, but instead we sat at home and had fun with the family and shot the bow a little bit. Yeah, and just hung out, and now we're out and let's see if we can get it done. Not too much activity yet, but not giving up hope yet, are we, Tucker? First day of youth season, 2019. Tucker is, how old are you?
8.
He is 8 years old, and he just shot his first buck. First day last year shooting a doe, first day shooting a buck this year. So, man, he put a great shot on it. Went down right in the beans there, as you can see. So, yeah, I am super excited. No track job. We can go get him, and yeah, go get him and make some phone calls and call mom and call Walker, and yeah, super excited. That is awesome. That is awesome, Tucker. So we are home here with the deer. We ran out of camera light, and more importantly, we ran out of the batteries, so we couldn't finish up down there, but just kind of wanted to wrap things up. Like I said, just super proud of Tucker tonight. Kind of deja vu from last year. He shot his doe first day on opening night, and now he shot at opening night. He shot his first buck, so yeah, just super proud. Like we went and sat over the bean field. They were still green, so you know, we had I think 7 does, and this buck came out, and Tucker saw the buck first, and before I did, and I didn't see it. So he said there was a fork, and it turned out to be a 6-pointer. But just super fun night, and so proud of him. And now maybe tomorrow or this week here, we'll try to get Walker out and try to get him a buck. He's kind of chomping at the bit, wanting to get out there. So we'll do that, and yeah, continue with the season. So thank you for watching Outreach Outdoors on Midwest Whitetail.
Hey guys, it's me, Brooks. I'm gonna go hunting tonight. Me and my dad went hunting once, but we didn't get a deer. And
we didn't see anything, did we?
no, we did not see anything. And
This is your first time with the muzzleloader, right? Okay. And how old are you?
6. I'm gonna go sit in the muzzleloader and get a buck. Hello.
You ready? Are you ready to shoot? Okay, I'm gonna pull this back.
Ready?
Don't squeeze it until you're on the bullseye. Hold it tight until you get it on the bullseye, and then steady it.
Ready?
Yep. What do you got, buddy? Let's see.
Right there.
Okay. What do you think? First time shooting the muzzleloader? Hey, think you could hit a deer?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you filming? Getting pretty late, so I think we better do our final interview here. But Saturday night, so hopefully we'll be back out tomorrow. Yeah, stay with us here. We're just getting started, so we'll catch up with you tomorrow unless something happens here in the last 10 minutes. So we heard one huffing down by the creek, but the wind's really swirling. So I want to take a little break from the rain a little bit and come down and talk to you about a couple different deer that will be hunting. So last week I told you I'd bring you whatever I found on camera, and so I want to show you a couple deer. We picked up 2 more deer that have shown back up in the area. So besides LT and the split G3, which are big deer, super excited about those deer showing up hopefully this year. The split G3 is showing up, LT hopefully, but there's a buck called the Big Six that I want to show you here, and so he's on here, and I have a couple different photos from last year, but he showed up again this year. But you can tell the tank of a body last year, and he is back in action this year. And so nothing huge up top, much similar to the very small buck that I shot last year, but I'm hoping that maybe we get a shot at him, because that'd be a really unique deer to take. Again, nothing huge in the rack department, but you can tell massive mature body pushing a lot of deer around out there. Next deer I want to show you is what I call the broken beam buck, and he had a broken beam last year, and he was all over by the pond. And he showed up again alongside the buck that we call the split G2 buck that's got velvet shredded in that photo. And he's a great deer and super awesome. 8-point frame. Would be tickled to death to get something like this, to get walk past us. But he was living all over by the pond, so he's back in action, and should make for some exciting hunting on the south side of the farm. The last deer I'm gonna put up here is, if you can see him there, but I'll hopefully the guys show you a picture of him on video. But it's a split G2 buck. This photo happened just this morning, and he has completely changed. I changed my view on him. I think he's only 3.5, and he was only 2.5 last year. So he is off the list, even though he's an impressive deer. Has some nice tine length to him. Split G2, some good character. We're going to do our best to hold off on that deer. But these are the deer that we're after. And we'll bring you updated photos, and hopefully we get a chance to see them throughout the season. So yeah, back to Brooks's hunt, and let's see if we can get him out there and get him something amidst the rain. Well, it's 5:40, and we're finally set up here. Last night we were sitting, we already kicked some deer right out from underneath that stand, so that might be the better spot, but the wind is out of the west, and so it's completely wrong. Brian and Nick put in a food plot here, and I'm not sure their deer are really using it yet, but the beans have turned yellow to the north of us, so we're hoping that they come in and grab something to munch on first, and then head to wherever they're heading. There's a lot of deer on this property, so we're hoping that just something comes by. I'm not sure the rhyme or reason of where they're going, but like I said, we've already seen 1 or 2 back on the trail where we walked in yesterday. But sit tight till dark, and hopefully Brooks gets a crack at something. So ready to go, buddy. It's 6:45. We got about 20-30 more minutes here, but Brooks and I have been having a great time, and that's what it's all about. We haven't seen much tonight, seen some birds, but we're certainly having a good time. I'd like to encourage all the dads out there, moms, and get your kids out hunting. It gives you a great chance to talk with them and have some great conversations about God's creation, and just great stories. Makes for great memories as well. So yeah, typically at a deer stand they're all ears as well, but we're going to sit here for another half hour. It's been a very slow youth season with the rain that we've had. Hoping to get Brooks on a doe or a buck here at some point, but whatever we see in the next half hour, we'll bring it to you. But thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail Outreach Outdoors this week. We'll see you back next week.